It's the magic hour. How you doing out there? Happy Monday. I hope you're having a great week so far. I know that I am. Man, I was really busy today before the stream, getting a lot of stuff done around the house. Now it's time for some video games, am I right? All right, so we're back again with Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, the third game in the series Trials and Tribulations. So let's go ahead and pull up our saved game here. We are partway through episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout. This is the first actual case in this game. Oh my goodness, I don't remember being in the middle of dialogue with this fellow. But perhaps we were. Okay then, talk. We're all listening. Oh, well, let's all have a listen to this confession. Oh, yes, that's right. The last time that we were together, we were partway through our trial day, and Ron, Delight, keeps trying to admit to being mask to mask, but his wife says that he's actually just like a really big fanboy of Mask to Mask. So for some reason, he's trying to throw himself under the bus for this crime. All right. Oh, well. Let's all have a listen to this confession. The truth is, I've been Mask to Mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm not actually Mask to Mask, can you? I don't have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen, after all. I donned my costume that night and dancingly descended upon the scene of the crime. Look, you can see right there in the photo. That's me. As for my brooch, I snagged it on the door handle and it got torn off, that's all. The judge looks so surprised. I don't like the direction this trial has taken. But this is how every trial goes. At least with me, anyway. Huh. You're doing great. Stop it, Mr. Godot. You're embarrassing me. Like I said, you're only gonna get one chance to testify, alright? But if you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only true Mask to Mask. Ooh. Thanks so much, Mr. Godot. I'll do my best. What the heck is going on with this guy? All right, Mr. Wright. I'm afraid it's time for the cross-examination. What in the heck could make this guy want to take the fall? The truth is, I've been Mask to Mask all along. I mean, you can't actually prove that I'm not Mask to Mask, can you? Well, actually, I think we can, right? Because we know that Ron had a key card in his wallet that gets like timestamped when it's used, and he used it in a location that was so far away from the crime that he couldn't possibly have been there, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and present this one, right? Objection! Mr. Delight, this wallet belongs to you, correct? Ah, yes, it does. I had lost it somewhere. Mr. Wright, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away. No, you don't understand. This is an important piece of evidence. Evidence? Mr. Delight, when did you first notice that you'd lost your wallet? Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But I know I still had it when DrC and I went out for dinner. This wallet was found at approximately 1 a.m. at KB Security Headquarters. What? Surely you're not serious? I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Hi, Eagle. How you doing? Long time no see. How you doing today? Oh, it's good to see you. Happy Monday. Surely you're not serious. Yes, I am serious. This proves that Mr. Delight was, in fact, at KB Security that night. You're on cloud 9 right now, huh? Good to hear it, dude. So if the defendant was at KB Security at 1 o'clock in the morning, then that proves that he has an watertight alibi. Furthermore, considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KB Security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car, according to Larry anyway. By this time next year, if things are going right, you'll be a detective, huh? Right? You're getting your education here. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? Ooh, a little bit of Java. And stop drinking that coffee. Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong. You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Godot. All right, I'll try. I'll do it. I will. He's really got Mr. Delight all worked up. Yeah, he's like a kid at his first day of school. Look, it's just ridiculous. Why would I have dropped my wallet at KB Security? Someone must have planted it there to make it look like I was there and not at the heist. Planted it there? He's really reaching now. Mr. Delight, you probably dropped your wallet when you took it out to use this, didn't you? The key card to KB Security's CEO's office. No! Ha! That was a pretty good try, Mr. Trite. Unfortunately, you've overlooked one small thing. What? Motive, of course. Why would this thief go to KB Security in the middle of the night anyway? Well, Mr. Wright, it looks like you need some more evidence after all. This stupid kid. Now then, let's see your evidence. The evidence that shows why Mr. Delight went to KB Security at 1 a.m. that night. Well, there was the letter, right? Telling him that he had to go? Right here. Yeah, I'm wondering. You know, this whole thing makes me wonder if maybe Desiree is the one that's the real mask-to-mask. Because I keep trying to think of, you know, why would he take the fall for someone else's crimes, right? Well, it makes sense if it's for his wife. She looks more like the mask-to-mask type, too. Take that! Mr. Delight, I believe you've seen this before, correct? Ah, that's... What is it? A blackmail letter. That's what it looks like from the contents. Blackmail? Yes, basically it says bring $50,000. That certainly sounds like blackmail, all right. At the time of the theft, Mr. Delight was dealing with the blackmailer himself. in KB Security's CEO office, a full half an hour away from the scene of the crime. Oh. No. Order! 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 So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KB Security. It looks like a perfect case for the defense.
Objection!
You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... Well, let's just say that my Godot blend number 107 impresses me a lot more. What are you trying to say? You say the thief was being blackmailed by the CEO of a security company. But, did you actually investigate the CEO at all? Huh? Well, no, I guess not. Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof? I'm not sure what I think of that. Not sure what I think of that? At least I know what I think of you. Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself. You claim that the defendant entered the CEO's office. But you'll need at least one witness to corroborate your claim, Mr. Wright. Nick, I think we're gonna have to track down the CEO guy. No, we don't have to track down the CEO at all. What do you mean by that, Mr. Trite? There's someone else who can testify. This is the person who can testify that the key card was used at 1 a.m. that night. Do we know somebody? We must know somebody, right? Let's look at the profiles here. Alright, so who could vouch for him being there? Larry, of course Larry, right? I almost forgot. Larry was there because he's a part-time security guard, right? Okay, what about this? Who was this useless-looking young man? Oh, jeez, that's mean. You don't remember him, Your Honor? Not exactly. But just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat. It looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago. He probably blocked out that memory on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as a guard at KB Security that night. Oh? The question at hand is this key card. Yep, that's the key card they use in the building I work. According to the serial number, this one's for the CEO's office. You need it to get into that room, and every time you use that card, it leaves a record. Yeah, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when. Okay. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing this keycard's data. Hey, welcome back, Eagle. What? Well, Mr. Godot? The name of the CEO of KB Security is Kane Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but I got the keycard data. Here. So what does it show? Each keycard has its own serial number, and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, this card was used at 1 a.m. on the morning of the crime. But that means it can't be Mr. Delight dressed as Master Mask in this photo. Looks like you're right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good cup of joe. So then... Rhonda Light was clearly in the office of KB Security's CEO at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact. Therefore, it's impossible for the defendant to be masked to mask. Good job! You did it, Nick! Did we do it? That's enough. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief. What's wrong, Your Honor? I'm ready to pass judgment. But before I do that, do you have any further objections? No, Your Honor. Huh. Oh. Very well. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Rhonda Light. Yeah! That's right. Court is now adjourned. So we did it? I mean, I think we did it. Nick, you did it! You were right after all. Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself. Nicky boy. Oh, Ms. Delight. I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky boy. I don't know how I can ever repay you. Aw, shucks. Thanks, Ms. Delight. I just know I'm blushing. Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Oh, pearls. I've got a bad feeling about this. Who is this woman? Oh, she's nobody. She's just a... You're blushing. How dare you do this in front of Mystic Maya? You should be ashamed of yourself. Whoa, did she just hit him? Pearl. Oh my goodness, that is not cool. Who is teaching this little girl to hit people? Oh my god. Whew, all right. You should be ashamed of yourself. Youch, she slapped me. Pearly? This woman is Ms. Desiree Delight. She's our client's wife. Mr. Nick! Yes? You're even worse than I thought. Going behind the back of your own client. No, you've got it all wrong. I'll never forgive you. Oh my gosh. Oh, you think Francisca taught her these aggressive, violent ways, huh? Oh my goodness. I'll never forgive you. Ow, a double slap. Well, anyway, all's well that ends well, right? We got the sacred urn back and the thief's been caught. You're so right, and it's all thanks to Nicky boy here. But actually, it was you, Miss Delight, that brought us her urn back. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, please, you're embarrassing me. If we won the case, then why does this guy still look so glum? Oh, but I am the thief. Actually, what's the point now? What is it, honey? I did my best for you, Ronnie. I know that, and I appreciate it, Desi. But the thing is... Come on, give the kid some time. He's just got a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo? Mr. Godot, what are you doing here? Oh, come on. I just came here to say thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Trite. Maybe you should learn my name before you call me buddy. Well, playtime is over. Huh? Early this morning, the body of Kane Bullard was discovered. Kane Bullard? Where have I heard that name before? Oh my goodness, isn't that the name of the CEO of KB Security? Wait, body? The estimated time of death was 1 a.m. on October 12th. Oh no, and we just established that our client was at the CEO's office at that time on that date. Oh no. 1 a.m. on October 12th? You don't mean... That's right, amigo. At the same time that a cheap little urn was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security was being murdered. So then, what are you doing here? Oh, come on. You figured it out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about that piece of info I helped you out with today? Help me out? What? On October 12th, at 1 o'clock in the morning, Ron Delight was in the CEO's office, the scene of the murder. After getting that blackmail letter, he must have been imbrued with utter rage. What are you saying? Imbrued with rage? Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Delight was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard. An employee of KB Security? It looks like the alibi that saved him from being convicted as a thief is gonna be the noose that gets him hanged. Kind of an anti-alibi. No way. He can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred. No, that's a lie. It can't be true. Oh, but I am a thief, I tell you. Ron Delight, you're going back to prison again. This time the charge is much more serious. This time you'll be tried for murder. What? This is impossible. I'm looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Trite. You and I aren't through with each other yet. Surely you won't back down from a challenge. You've never been a coward. Mr. Nick, is there something personal between you two? I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. At least let me have some fun while I'm here. Wow, some intense rhetoric from this dude. He's come from the depths of hell to battle us. Dang. Yeah, exactly, Eagle. How can I back down now? I mean, I can't just let this guy talk smack to me, insult my competence in the courtroom. He is a little dramatic. Yeah, you know, you need a little bit of flair, I think, to be a successful prosecutor. Well, really, to be a successful attorney. You need a little bit of flair, right? Because you have to be charismatic and command the audience's attention and this sort of thing, right? And so he definitely has that going for him. I like his whole look, the hair, the facial hair. This is a whole vibe he's got going on, right? And I'm into it. I even like the sort of Cyclops visor situation he's got going on. I'd really like to know more about what that does. Hopefully that's covered at some point in this game. This guy, who the heck is he? He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced. Well then, time to say goodbye to Mr. Delight. Nick, how could this be happening? Right in front of our very eyes, our client has been arrested for murder. And the one who established his presence at the scene was me. Oh, Ronnie! Oh no. Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent of larceny. What the heck's gonna happen next? To be continued. Okay, a chance to save the game. Go ahead and save. Boy, okay, so it's time for more investigation, right? Starting off at the office. You know, I'm glad we found the urn and all, but poor Mr. Delight got arrested again. Well, supposedly Mr. Delight was in the CEO's office when the murder occurred. No way, Jose, I don't buy it. But the one who proved that Mr. Delight was there was Mr. Nick himself, at least from what I can understand. Looks like you did too good of a job this time, Nick. Well, how about we get started looking into the KV security murder? I think I'm gonna head back to Kareen Village for a little while, if that's all right. Sure, but why? I'm gonna bring the secret urn back and have some people take a look at it. Oh, that's a good idea. I think I'll go with. No, Mystic Maya, you should stay here. I want you two to spend some special quality time together, full of love and happiness. Pearls is so caught up in her fantasy, she forgot there's a murder to solve. Now remember, no fighting, okay? Jeez. She really ships us with Maya hard, huh? She's gone. Okay, Nick, time to get going on this murder investigation. Let's talk. What should we do? So what do we do now? Isn't it obvious? We should get out there and investigate the murder. Well, first, we need to find out exactly where KB Security is located. Hey, why don't we ask Ms. Delight? She should know. Besides, I want to ask her some stuff about motorcycles. Motorcycles? You're not thinking of getting one, are you? I'm not the same little Maya who used to be happy with her dinky little bike, Nicky boy. Speaking of asking around, I've got a few questions of my own for Mr. Delight. Okay, well, let's make sure to go to the detention center, too. You must be relieved that we got the sacred urn back, huh? You bet. But there's something a little different about it. Don't huh at me. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, take a look at this. It clearly says, I am, on the urn in the poster. But the urn we got back says Amy, like it always used to. Oh yeah, you're right. Plus, the vase has pink splotches on it now. I'm sure they weren't there before. Maya doesn't know, but 1 year ago, when the urn was broken, the repairer accidentally turned Mystic Amy's name into I Am. And that repairer was one mechanically unskilled little Pearls. But still, I don't remember ever seeing pink splotches on it. Is it possible that the urn is a fake? I'm sure Pearls will find out about that once she gets back to Kareen Village. Yeah, I suppose. Now that I think about it, Maya hasn't been back to Kareen Village in a long time. So, I guess people still go to Karain Village to do their training, right? Yep. If you want to become a spirit medium, you need to undergo severe training. So why haven't you been training lately, Maya? Well, lately I've been thinking of heading to a channeling dojo to do just that. A channeling dojo, huh? Sounds pretty serious, whatever that is. If you're gonna train, you have to be serious. Otherwise, real tragedies can happen. Is that what happened last year? Is what happened last year still bothering you? That murder in her village. It happened because the power of channeling was misused. When a medium uses the Karain technique, she temporarily loses her own will. So, when an especially strong spirit is summoned, the spirit medium can get taken over and even forced to commit terrible crimes. What's worse, in those cases, the spirit medium has no memory of what happened. That murder. It wasn't your fault, Maya. You know that, don't you? Ah, you gotta let your dog out. I guess we know the answer to the age-old question. Who let the dogs out? It was Eagle. I suppose not, but I guess I'm still a bit shaken up, that's all. It sounds like being the master of Karain is going to be a heavy responsibility. Alright, well, I think we know what we need to do. So first thing on the agenda, we gotta go talk to Desiree at the Damask hideout, right? Alright. Oh! Nicky boy! Maya! Ms. Delight! All I wanted to do was help my dear Ronnie. Yeah, but I guess it ended up hurting his case. Don't say that, Nick. She doesn't need your help beating herself up. Hey, Nicky boy, please. Please help Ronnie. He's not a killer, I swear. My Ronnie wouldn't hurt a fly. All right, I'll poke around and see what I can find out. Really? Are you serious? Oh, I'm so happy. I knew asking for your help was the right thing to do. I don't know what I can do to help anymore. I had no idea Ms. Delight had such a vulnerable side. Listen carefully, Nicky boy. My Ronnie would never, ever kill anyone. It's just not in him. I don't think he would either, Nick. Yeah, but you have to admit he's got a bit of a temper to him. It's not that hard to imagine him just snapping and screaming, "Please die!" He would never say that. Anyway, Ms. Delight, he might not be a killer, but he's still going around saying that he's a thief. I already told you, that's just a fantasy for him. Ms. Delight, I hate to say it, but you're the one living in a fantasy world. What? How dare you say that to me, Nicky boy? I know everything about my Ronnie. We don't have any secrets between us. Ronnie isn't the thieving type. He's so honest that he wouldn't even sneak a nap. He's so honest that he wouldn't even steal a glance. A thief. The very idea. I guess I just don't get it. Huh? Get what? I just can't understand how they can be so different and yet be such a happy couple. Yeah, they sure are different. Hey, welcome back. Come on now, Nicky boy. It's not that mysterious, is it? It was love at first sight. For me, anyway. What? For you? I hate these kinds of people more than anything. You mean Ace Detectives? Hey, Kai the Firebird! Welcome! Hey, Godot, wanna hear a joke? Sure, I love a good joke. What did the coffee say to his crush? I like you a latte. Coffee should be darker than hell itself. Lattes go against everything I stand for. Don't mention them around me again, trite. I didn't say anything. Wow, Nick, I guess he hates you. A latte. What did I just say? What did I say? Whackity schmackity doo. I love that. That would fit right in with the dialogue. I'm fine with Ace Detectives. Oh. So then you must mean thieves. No, they're alright too. I just hate thieves that pretend to be Ace Detectives. There's nothing I hate more than cowardly men. By the way, did you go to Detective Atmey's office anyway? Oh, why did you go there? Okay. Well, as the trial went on, I started to get more and more anxious. I went there to try and find out more about the real criminal. The real criminal? Yes, obviously the real Mask to Mask is not my Ronnie, right? Yeah? And Detective Atney knew more about Mask to Mask than anyone else. They mentioned him on the Great People Around Town segment on TV. So then, you went there to ask him some questions? That's right. I'll do whatever it takes to save my man. His secretary said the Ace Detective isn't in right now. But I forced my way past her and into his hideout. I wouldn't exactly call that office of his a hideout. That bag was sitting right there on top of the table. Oh yeah, we saw that bag there yesterday too. There's nothing lower than someone who would try to pin a crime on someone else. Ms. Delight, do you know about KB Security? Don't be silly. Of course I do. That's where my Ronnie works. So, she thinks he still works there, huh? And yet, according to what we heard today... Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Delight was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard. Hey, it's level 394 on Dark Souls. How you doing today? Happy Monday. Ron quit. He doesn't work there anymore. It looks like Ms. Delight doesn't know. KB Security is only about 20 minutes away. By motorcycle, that is. Hey, that's good! Larry told me it takes about 30 minutes by car. Well, I have to admit I tend to fly pretty fast on my bike. To make it to KB Security that fast, are you sure you aren't literally flying? Why don't I give you a ride sometime? Or better yet, how about now? No, I'll pass, thanks. Why don't you just tell us where it is and we'll go ourselves? What a scaredy cat you are, Nick. His Delight told us the location of KB Security. Okay, let's head over there right away, Nick. So was it really love at first sight when you first met Mr. Delight? Well, maybe not at first sight, but Ronnie saved my life. Saved your life? I was at work one day when two robbers suddenly rushed in. Well, I'm not the kind to just curl into a little ball in the corner. So I fought back. Robbers? Yes, they took me hostage. I was so frightened. They were both carrying these huge knives, and I broke down into tears. You can tell she's very emotional. Look at the look on her face. This is affecting her deeply. Yeah, I would too if I were in that situation. Oh, I think I get it. Did Mr. Delight come running to save you? Yes, exactly. I remember he looked so handsome in that guard uniform of his. He went right up to those two knife-wielding robbers and screamed in their faces. Please, stop it! He screamed. I could see the robbers' faces turn pale. That high-pitched shriek of his does have a surprisingly strong effect on people. Then, crying and swinging his arms like crazy, he attacked the two robbers. All by himself, he came to save me, a total stranger, all by himself. He was so scared that he was crying and shaking, but he still risked his life for me. Wow, that's a great story. Yeah, he may not look like it, but in a tough situation, there's no one better. That's why I fell in love with him like I did. That's so romantic. I'd fall in love too, I guess. Nick, I hope you'll do the same for me if I ever get taken hostage. She has been taken hostage. She was taken hostage in the last game. With Maya, that possibility always seems to loom in the not-so-distant future. Oh. Alright, okay, so we've asked her everything we can ask her. And she told us the location of KB's security, so let's head on over there and check it out. Ooh. Yeah, this does look like a security office, doesn't it? Okay. So, I guess this is where it all went down, huh? The walls in here look thick, just like you'd expect in a CEO's office. What has that got to do with anything? Hey, it's you guys. Oh, it's Detective Gumshoe. Today was a real train wreck for you guys, huh? Sure was, pal. That prosecutor made real fools out of us. Yeah, I feel sorry for you. Wow, that's not like you at all. I thought you'd be more like, oh, that was great. You guys got what you deserved, pal. Or something to that effect. Do I really sound like that to you, pal? If the gumshoe fits. Well, anyway. The point is, I can tell when someone puts their heart in their jobs. And I can sympathize when things don't go your way. Sometimes, I feel like wrong is the only way things go for us detectives. Wow, I had no idea Detective Gumshoe was such a nice guy. Now, if this little love fest is over, maybe we can start investigating. Alright, so let's peek around a little bit here first. So we've got a giant safe. Wow, this safe is unbelievable. I bet 4 pearls would fit in there. I don't think we should put any children inside this safe. And it's got a bunch of doohickeys attached to it. It's pretty amazing, alright. Motion sensors, heat sensors, weight sensors. Hey, Nick, come on. Let's open it and take a look. If I broke into one of these, wouldn't that set me down the path to Hoodlumville? Yeah, this is exactly it. This is exactly how people get started into a life of crime. They get into safe cracking. It's a gateway crime to Hoodlumville. What else? Oh, there's a painting here. Wow, look at that huge frame photo. Tall mountains rising majestically against a dark and cloudy sky. There's a title written at the bottom of the photo. The greatest sunrise of my life. This is it? This was his best sunrise? Either this guy didn't get out enough or he had really rotten luck with the weather. Maybe if he had lived a little longer, he would have seen some better days. There's a big panic button here, huh? Oh, there's a button here. Let's see. Hey, cut it out. Don't press that. That was pretty funny. I never knew Detective Gumshoe could jump like that. What is that button anyway? It's an emergency buzzer. It says that right here on the panel. Oh, you're right. It's written right there. Nick, how many times have I told you to read the instructions first? This alarm's connected to the basement guard room. It's used to summon security up here. Really? Then it's possible on the night of the crime. Oh, so when the CEO was attacked, do you think that maybe he pressed the buzzer? Yeah, I thought about that, so I asked around down there. But they said that the buzzer never went off that night. Also, we couldn't find any fingerprints on the buzzer. Mr. Bullard, the victim, wasn't wearing any gloves, by the way. Just so you know. I think we better go and talk to that guard about this emergency buzzer. Okay. What else? This must be the CEO's desk. It's a lot simpler than I would have thought. Hey, that looks like a super soft chair. Let me try it out just for a second. Oh, nice. I feel just like a CEO. Hey you, whip me up a cup of some really expensive import tea and some scones. Move it. This is the life. The victim sat in that chair just before he was brutally killed, you know? These look like some kind of bookshelf rolling cabinet hybrid. Oh yeah, these sort of look like, I've seen something like this in the university library basement. Their archives. You, like, type something in at the panel, and the shelves are motorized, and they sort of, like, move themselves along. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. It seems a little dangerous. Ugh, I can't get in between these two shelves. Don't strain yourself trying. It looks like the shelves are controlled by a special panel. So I guess it's one shelf at a time, huh? It looks like they're filled with a bunch of files. Yeah, files filled with data about security jobs they were hired to handle. It'd be a good night's reading, if you've got insomnia. I was hoping for something a little bit more exciting, like UFOs or something. Check out this big, thick binder here. Leave the heavy lifting to me, Nick. Reading a file isn't exactly back-breaking work. It's just a little hard on the eyes. Ah! What did you find out, Nick? This file, it's not about any sort of security operations or anything. This huge file's all about Mask to Mask. It's filled with info on him. What? What kind of info? It's filled with incredibly detailed information about his methods and the crime scenes. Hey Nick, look at the last page. It's a list. Let's see. Tier of Eminon, $100,000. This looks like a list of all the treasures that Mask to Mask stole. So then, $100,000 is the value of the stolen item? I don't know, that number sounds kind of low to me. I think I'd better secretly make a copy of this list. Can we see it any closer? Alright. So the Tear of Amenon, the Crown of Bangora, the Left Hand of Hades, the Portrait of Megina. Anything else? Well, we have this chalk outline. There, I guess I'm blocking it a little bit, but there's like a body outline underneath where my head is here. You see? Alright. This rope. You think it fell out of the safe when it was opened? I don't think so. So you mean... Yeah, I think this string shows where and how the corpse was lying. You mean... the victim? He was killed by being crushed by the safe door? She can't be serious, can she? No, I don't think he was crushed by the safe door. Anything else to look at here? I think we may have looked at everything in the room. Yeah, I think we got it. Alright. Let's talk to Gumshoe. What do you know, dude? What's the tea? Detective Gumshoe, tell us what you know about the murder. Okay. But the thing is, I'm really not supposed to. Hey, come on. What about how we put our hearts into our work? Things are really working against us right now, and we need help. Okay, I'll tell ya. Just don't start crying on me, okay, pal? Okay, I won't cry on you, pal. The victim's name is Kane Bullard. He was the CEO of KB Security and a pretty big fella in his own right. His corpse was discovered at 9 o'clock this morning. His estimated time of death was 1 o'clock in the morning on October 12th. Cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, probably an object in this room. It happened at exactly the same time that Mask to Mask was stealing the urn, huh? Okay. So why did it take almost an entire day to discover the body? There's a good explanation for that one. Bullard's body was stashed away inside that safe. Safe? Well, it is pretty big. Nobody had heard from him, and when they opened the safe this morning, out he came. Gosh, the body fell out. That white string must be the shape from when he fell out. Oh, you're heading out now, Eagle? Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate your support. I'll see you next time, okay? You have a good night. I think we still need some more information about Mr. Billiard. Maybe you could start by getting the man's name right. So, what happened to Mask to Mask? He's at the detention center, screaming like a madman. Investigate me again! He keeps yelling. No, I didn't mean him. He's not the real thief anyway, right? Oh, you mean that detective at me? Oh, that was great. That guy got what he deserved. Now that's the detective I know and love. Think about it. Atney was always around when a calling card showed up. But he always mysteriously disappeared when the heist took place. I was hiding at the crime scene. Yeah, right. That's the lamest thing I've ever heard. That's how you just knew he was the thief. That would explain how he was able to retrieve the stolen item he keeps bragging about. Yeah, he just did that to make himself look like a great detective, that's all. But There's this one thing I can't figure out about his first heist. His first heist? Yeah, the Tear of Amanon case. There was a witness on that one. A witness? Here, I saved the newspaper clipping. Since the thief is already under arrest, you guys can keep it. Hey, this guard here. Haven't I seen him somewhere before? It's pretty small, so it's kind of hard to see, but now that she mentions it... Ooh, that prosecutor. I really don't like that guy. The way he used our own evidence to do that to Mr. Delight? Yeah, I think he did it that way just because he knew it'd hurt more. That's what my gut tells me anyway. So who is that Java-addicted masked maniac anyway? Prosecutor Godot? He's quite the enigma, huh? The thing is, pal, I never even heard of the guy before. He just showed up one day at the prosecutor's office. Came out of nowhere. That's right, he said this was his first case as a prosecutor. And it's true, according to the records anyway. But no way he's an amateur. He's an Iceman in court, a maverick that gave me goosebumps. All the Top Gun references here. Goosebumps? You? Yeah, I knew something was off about him, so I asked around. Nobody would talk to me. They all just turned the other way. Poor Detective Gumshoe. I had no idea you were so unpopular. No, that's not what I meant. That Godot guy acts like he knows me and has a grudge against me. I get the feeling he's hiding some kind of dark secret. Alright. Well, do you know anything about some of the folks we have talked to? Let's see here. What do you know about... the victim of the crime, right? What do you know about this guy? Huh? Detective Gumshoe, tell us some more about Mr. Shane Bluebard. That's Kane Bullard, not Shane Bluebard, pal. Oh, yeah, the victim in this case just doesn't make much of an impression on me. Well, you were the victim up until Mr. Bullard was found dead. Yeah, and his body wasn't discovered until this morning. Anyway, we don't have enough information yet. Can you help us out? Sorry, I'm actually a little confused myself. For some reason, I'm just blabbing like an idiot right now. Okay, Nick, now's our chance to get more info about the victim, so hurry up and ask. You don't have to tell me twice. Can you tell us some more about Mr. Bullard? He was the CEO of KB Security, right? What kind of company is it anyway? Well, the company basically sends security teams out to buildings to guard them. Mr. Bullard must have had the chance to learn a lot of secrets doing this kind of work. Oh? And? I don't know how to put this, but the guy was kind of a money grubber. Really? Me too. I just love money. I can't ever get enough. Please stop leaning in towards me like that. You aren't getting to my wallet. Anyway, it looks like he did some pretty shifty stuff to earn his millions. Oh, so that's my problem. I need to be shiftier. Let me go already. Apparently, he was involved in selling trade secrets between rival companies. Ooh, that's pretty dirty and underhanded. Yeah. Oh, KB Security used to head security operations against Mask to Mask. What? Really? Yeah. And after screwing up so many times, the company's reputation really took a nosedive. So, it really was Bullard who sent Ron the blackmail letter, huh? The blackmail letter? Does he have something to say about the blackmail letter? About this blackmail letter. Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot too, pal. Why would Kane Bullard have been blackmailing Ron Delight anyway? Well, Mr. Delight used to work at KB Security, right? But what was it that made him quit? Nick, that's it. Maybe that's the same reason he's being blackmailed. Well, I'm in the middle of investigating that right now. Oh, alright. If you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, come to KB Security at 1 a.m. Bring 50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Red diamond? Well, there's only one person we know with a flashy red jewel set in a ring, and that is Luke Atney. So I'm very suspicious of Mr. Luke Atney. Alright, well, I think we've looked at everything we can look at here. Let's go check out the security room. Ooh, look at this place. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, this is really something else. For a security guard office, it sure doesn't feel very secure. KB Security Guard. Uh-oh, I just remembered. Larry might be... Hey, Nick, what's up? Ugh, so he is here. Yo, how's it hanging, dude? And you got my sweet little Maya with you, too. Hi, Larry. Here I was working my fingers to the bone. And in walks an angel. I got no problems with a daytime date. It's all good. No, that's not what we're here for. We're investigating the Bullard murder case. Huh? Oh yeah, that's right. You're a lawyer, aren't you? He's so hopelessly clueless. Well, if it's about the murder case, boy, have I got some good info for you. Really? What is it? Well, I don't mind sharing with my sweet little Maya. But Nick here is a different story. But Larry, I thought you two were old school buddies. That was then, and this is now. So what's this good info you were talking about, Larry? Hey, I'm a guard, a pro. I can't just give away information for free. He wants a bribe. I thought professionals were more, I don't know, honest? Can you talk to him, Maya? Larry, tell us already. What's the good info? Hey, I like that. This kitten's got some claws. Okay, you really want to know? Yes, so tell me. Okay, so the thing is, Ron Delight was an employee here. And naturally, since I'm a pro, I looked into his background. Follow me? Yes, you're a pro. I follow you. Go on. Well, 1 year ago, Ron Delight was fired. And there was no warning at all. It just happened all of a sudden. I know this is a small company, but I think that was pretty awful. I guess he must have done something bad to have gotten fired like that. Like maybe skipping out of work to go pick up hot chicks or something. No, that's just you. So what is it like to be a part-time security guard? Let me tell you, it's tough. Well, you know me. I get by all right, I guess. First, I have to keep my eye on those monitors. All the time. Monitors? There's security cameras set in each room around the building. It's really hard. Sometimes I feel like my eyes are gonna fall out. Oh. And if I see something suspicious, I have to contact one of the teams. What teams? The security teams for this company. They're supposedly the best in the business. But I'm no amateur either, so even if it's something small, I don't bother calling them. So in other words, you basically watch TV screens all day long. You were in this office when the murder took place, weren't you? Why do you say that? This is just a part-time job for me, and I can't operate the equipment, and I'm dumb. Even if it is part-time and you are dumb, you're still in charge of security here. Hey, give me a break. Don't try to pin the whole thing on me. It's not fair, Nick. Huh? I don't think you can expect someone like him to take any responsibility. Anyway, the point is, you were here that night, right? Ooh! Oh, Larry! 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 You're hiding something from me, Larry. Oh no, I knew something smelled bad, and it was the butts after all. Okay. Well, it's like I always say. That was then and this is now, okay? Looks like I'm gonna have to break his psyche locks after all. Okay, alright, well. We know the drill, we gotta present. Well, wait a minute, before we do that, I wanna look around the room, just to see if there's anything else. That's my partner's seat. Your partner? Well, that's what I call her. She's my superior, actually. Kind of a weird old lady. Oh no. Is it old bag? There's tea spilled all over that machine, you know? Oh, don't worry about it. Just the other day, I spilled some chocolate milk on mine. It still works fine, more or less. They really know how to build them, I guess. Something's written on this poster in fine print. A guard's 5 commandments. Wow, this sounds serious. Let's see what it says. Number 1, obey thy superior. Number 2, respect thy superior. Number 3, smile at thy superior. Number 4, salute thy superior. Number 5, buy donuts for thy superior upon command. It's signed, Wendy Oldbag, head supervisor. Ah yes, I had a sneaking suspicion she was lurking around this place. She's one tough old bird, let me tell you. Cross her and you come face to face with her real, genuine ray gun. Yeah, sounds scary, alright. Well, fortunately she's on vacation. That's why I'm so relaxed right now. Hey Larry, that's your jacket, isn't it? That's right. Did you know you hung it right on top of some kind of lever? Yeah, sure. I was told never ever touch that lever. She scowled and huffed at me. Something terrible will happen if you do. Got it, Greenhorn? So why hang your jacket on such an important lever? Because it got me curious. If the jacket's weight pulls the lever down, that's what they call an accident. Doesn't the suspense just kill you? Don't you want to know what'll happen? Huh? It's true, it's killing me too. What about you, Nick? Yeah, but for a different reason. Wow, take a look at these things here. Hey Larry, what are they? Did you say Hey man, it's not like I have to know what they are to do my job. I always thought they were just some kind of decoration or something. Oh boy. How did this guy ever get a job here anyway? Those screens there show what's going on all over the building, everywhere. And it's my job to keep a steady eye on them. I wouldn't sound so smug if I were you. Can you watch regular TV on these too? If anyone would sit here and watch TV instead of working, it's Larry. Hey, Maya, I'm a pro, okay? Besides, you can't get regular TV on it. And how do you know that, Larry? Because that was my first bit of investigation, if you know what I mean. I know what you're thinking. It was a professional investigation, all right? That's my workstation. Pretty cool, huh? I keep a steady eye on the monitors and use that mic for communicating. Look at all this equipment. It must be hard to operate. No biggie. I think there's an instruction manual somewhere in this room. Somewhere? Instruction manual? What are you gonna do in an emergency? Well, I guess I'd start by calmly looking for the instruction manual. During that time, my partner, the old lady, would calmly look for her reading glasses. That's what us security professionals call teamwork. Even Maya and Pearls could run this place better. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Anything else around here to look at? I think we've done a pretty good job looking at our stuff. Yeah, alright. So, I guess there's nothing left to do but to present the Mayatama. What's the tea? What is the tea, Larry? On the night of the crime, were you working hard like you were supposed to? What? Huh? Of course I was. Why wouldn't I have been? But didn't you sneak out of work just yesterday to go see Miss Delight? Ah, but that was that, and this is this. Is there any chance that you snuck out of work last night too? Never. I didn't sneak out. I tell you what, I'll even bet you $1. $1? Wow, now that's confidence. What's with that drenched-in-the-rain puppy look on your face? Do you have evidence that I left my position, or are you just pulling my chain? The evidence that Larry was not manning his station when the murder happened is... well, he gave us the wallet, right? Take that! This wallet. You know about this, right? I've never seen it before. Liar. You hand-delivered this wallet to Ms. Delight just yesterday. Give me a break. You can't expect me to remember every little thing that happens. Well, I do expect you to remember something that happened just yesterday. What time was it when you found this wallet? I guess it was around 1 in the morning on the first floor of our company building. 1 o'clock in the morning? That's right. In other words, Larry, at the time of the murder, you were away from the security guard office. Yeah, but there's something you didn't think about? What's that? My shift that day didn't start until 10 p.m. The murderer might have snuck in before then. What do you mean by that? If the murderer had snuck in before 10 p.m., then it wasn't my fault. It was the fault of the guy whose shift was before mine. Why do I have the feeling that he still doesn't get the seriousness of this? Listen up, Larry. We know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the killer snuck into the CEO's office after 10 p.m. during your shift. Where's the record? I guess it's gotta be the keycard itself? Take that! Larry, when you use this keycard, does it leave a record? Yeah, it does. But I can't show the record to just anyone, you know. That keycard data was already made public in the trial today. What? I didn't know that. Any kind of request for info like that is supposed to go through me. Boy, does that sound a bit arrogant coming from a part-time guard. Anyway, according to the data, the door to the CEO's office was opened with this card. Furthermore, it was most definitely used at 1 a.m., the time of the murder. No way! Yes, someone used this to get into the CEO's office. That happened at 1 a.m. on the night of the crime, right in the middle of your shift. Oh. Larry, you can't duck your responsibility this time. Yeah, no. Yeah, we did it. Can't lie to me, bud. Can't lie to me, bud. What's the tea? Ooh, I knew it. It's all my fault. It's my fault that the boss was killed. My fault. Larry, there was nothing I could do. I have important issues to deal with too, man. What happened that night anyway? My Donna happened. Huh? Your Donna? I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, my Donna called and said, I have to talk to you right away. So I went to see her and he was standing right there next to her. Who was? Her new boyfriend. It was like some horrible joke. Before I knew what was going on, the guy socked me right in the kisser. Normally, I'm the one that does the punching. Isn't that right, Maya? Yeah. So, is that why you left the security guard office? I know, right, Rizo? Oh, man. Whoa, I'm sorry, it's all my fault. How can I ever make up for it, Nick? What can I do? What? Whoa. He's curled up on the floor, crying like a baby. Oh boy. Nick, is there anything I can do? Anything? Just name it. I'll do whatever I have to do to make up for it. I swear I will. Larry. Hey, Nick. As long as he's offering, why don't you show him the evidence we've got? She's right. Maybe we'll get at least one bit of useful information from him. Nick. Alright, well, let's present him with some stuff, right? What have we received recently? I'm not sure he can really tell us anything about this. No, nothing about the autopsy. Kane's list. Maybe this? I think you know how much I want to help you guys, but I really don't know what to say about that. Okay, so not that one. What is it, Nick? It's just that he seems so, I don't know, pleasant. What about this? The buzzer in the CEO's office is directly connected to this room, right? That's right. Just like my heart is connected to yours, Maya. What? Huh? Go ahead, Maya. Press the buzzer in your heart. What? I promise I'll come running to your rescue like the professional guard I am. Wow. That was pretty good. Thanks. I try. Do you think you could tell us about the buzzer now? Yes, please. Please tell us. Okay, I guess so. Prepare to be wowed. I accidentally pressed the buzzer earlier. Yeah, I heard it. So that was you, huh? You're a security guard, aren't you? Why didn't you come to the CEO's office? Well, this is the 3rd floor of the basement. The CEO's office is on the 1st floor. I thought it would be a good idea to adopt a wait-and-see approach. Plus, there's a police detective here, right? I just didn't think it was necessary. It's as if he's trying to win an award for the laziest person on the planet. Let's get back to talking about the night of the murder, okay? Is it true that the buzzer didn't go off that night? There must be a record, right? You must have had a look at it, right? Of course I did. And I couldn't possibly have made a mistake either. Do you think you could take just one more look for me? Pretty please? Oh, okay. I just can't say no to you, Maya. What do you think, Nick? He's probably right. I don't think even Larry could make a mistake like, What is it? What's wrong? I made a mistake! Huh? But how? It can't be. It's impossible! Okay, enough already. What about the records? That night, it went off just once. In the morning, at around 1 a.m. 1 a.m.? That's when the murder happened. Really? Are you serious? That's terrible. It can't be. Once at 1:02 a.m. Okay. Is there anything else that we should be showing him? You guys have really made me reflect on the way I've been living. But the only problem is with all this reflecting, where's the time for love? Frankly, I think reflecting is a bit overrated, you know? What are you going on about, Larry? Plus, do you honestly have any new info on the buzzer record? Huh? The record? No. Nothing at all. This guy reflects about as much as a piece of black carpeting. Okay, I think we have done all we can do here. I guess we need to go out through the CEO's office. Anything new to talk about? No. Guess we should go to the main hall? Ooh, okay. The Treasures of Karain exhibit is all ruined now. Maya. I'm sorry, it's just so sad. This was our big chance for everyone to learn about spirit channeling. Maybe I can cheer her up somehow. Well, now that we've got the sacred urn back, maybe they can reopen it? Really? Sure. Maybe we can label it the Urn of Mask to Mask's Desires. That would probably attract a lot of attention. Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's brilliant, Nick. We could clean up and be filthy rich. Woohoo! Wow, that was surprisingly easy. Anywhere else to go? Let's go to the basement. Oh, something going on here. Oh, it's you, Mr. Wright. Oh my gosh, Adrian Andrews, and she looks a mess. Ms. Andrews, what's she still hanging around down here for? So, how is it going? What about the sacred urn? The urn? Oh, that. It's been taken care of already. What do you mean, oh, that? Taken care of? You mean it's been found? Yes. It was brought in during the trial today. Wow, really? You really are the greatest, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright had nothing to do with it. It was Mask to Mask's wife that found it. Well, anyway, I'm so relieved. I just heard all about it on the news. So that detective was actually the thief all along. It looks that way right now. It's my fault. I'm the one who ended up hiring Damask to guard the treasures. Don't blame yourself. You were just doing your job. Hey, Nick, if she wants to apologize, you should let her. So, when was it that you hired Detective Atme again? About 20 days ago? And when was it that Damask's calling card arrived? That was about 10 days ago. So he sent a calling card to the very place he was hired to guard. I guess that's it then. Detective Atme must have really wanted the sacred urn after all. I guess so. What? So Mask to Mask murdered someone as well? Well, that's how things look right now. Yes, but I thought that he was here stealing the urn at the time. Well, we're talking about a criminal mastermind, so anything is possible. Nick, let's get down to business already. On the night of the theft, did you notice anything suspicious about Detective Atme? No, I couldn't have. After all, he was hidden the entire time. I never even caught a glimpse of him. He claims that's the way he always operates. That's just what he says so he can have an alibi while he commits the thefts himself. Yeah, he was caught in the crime scene photo dressed up as Mask to Mask pretty well. I'm so glad that you got your sacred urn back. Yes, but there's still something that bothers me about it. What is it? I'm not exactly sure, but somehow the urn that came back seems different. Really? You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Ms. Andrews? Watch this woman lie. Watch this woman lie to us. No, I don't know anything. Why would I? Uh-huh. Psyche locks. What do you think this means, Nick? It means that the person that holds the secret to the mystery of the sacred urn is our very own Ms. Andrews. Okay. Well, I don't think we quite know enough yet to figure out what she's lying to us about and why. So let's go ahead and meet up in instead. Here we go. The detention center with our clients. Meeting up with our client. We are in the visitor room. Ah, Mr. Wright! Mr. Delight, did they finish their interrogation? Yes, but please don't leave me alone anymore. Mr. Delight, you lied to us before, didn't you? Well, you see. On the same night the sacred urn was stolen from the Lordly Taylor department store, a blackmail letter you got summoned you to KB Security to hand over some money. And then, that's where the CEO, Kane Bullard, was murdered. But there's only one Ron Delight, am I right? So the only question is, where were you that night? This time I want to hear the whole truth. Your life depends on it. Okay. Mr. Delight, do you still insist that you are masked to mask? Isn't that what I've been saying since yesterday? That was a quick response. Tell me about it. To be honest, it's starting to get irritating. But listen, Mr. Delight. At the trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief, didn't we? Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. I guess it's true. I wasn't the one who stole that urn. Of course not. After all, you were at KB Security at the time. So then, the person dressed up as Mask to Mask in this photo, it's gotta be Detective Atme. So, that night, you didn't go to Lordly Taylor, you went to KB Security, right? Yes, I went to KB Security at the time of the blackmail note said I should. Alright, what happened next? Well, I used to work there, so I knew where the CEO's office was. I knocked, but there was no answer. So then I used the key card to unlock the door. It's probably when he dropped his wallet. When I went into the CEO's office, someone was in there. Someone? Then suddenly they bashed me over the head. Bam! Was it Kane Bullard that hit you? I don't know. The person ran away while I was still stunned. When I came to my senses, the sight I saw left me speechless. The dead body of the CEO was right there in front of me. I thought I'd die myself. Anyway, I thought I should do something with the body. So that's why you put it in the safe? Yes, that's right. I used to be the chief of one of the security teams, so I knew how to open it. Okay. And what did you do after that? Well, I got out of there for starters. I was the one who set up the security cameras in that building. So I knew how to avoid being spotted by them. Nick. All of a sudden, Mr. Delight kind of sounds like the murderer to me. Please don't say that. Mr. Delight, is it true that 1 year ago, you were forced to quit KB Security? How did you? I'm begging you, please don't tell DrC. Please. Don't worry, we haven't told anyone yet. Phew. Thank goodness. No, but I suppose I'll have to tell her sometime. She'll find out eventually. Why have you been hiding it from her anyway? DrC would despise me if she ever found out I was living a life of crime. A criminal, a thief. She'd never forgive me. My marriage would be over. Knowing that, why did you become a thief in the first place? Because DrC spends money like it's water. There's no job in the world that could bring in enough money. Except being a thief. At least that's what I thought anyway. So he became mask to mask for Desiree, huh? Okay. Anything that we can show him? We don't need to show him any of these things. We have already done all of this. His wallet. The key card. Publicity photo. We've already used these things. The buzzer. Kane's list. What about this? This list. We found it in the office of the CEO, Mr. Bullard. Hey, this is a list of all the things Mask to Mask stole. And that's the value of each item listed next to each of them. $100,000, $150,000. Are you sure that's the value of the stolen items? The numbers seem a little low to me. Even on the black market, the prices should be at least 3 times higher than that. I guess he knows about that stuff because he used to be a security guard. Oh yeah, this is probably him. Let's present this article. Hey, this is an article about my debut heist. Boy, that was a tough one. Before I knew it, they were hot on my trail. But Mask to Mask, he must have gotten away, right? It says in the article that he disappeared. That's right. I got a sudden burst of inspiration. I hid my Mask to Mask costume in a nearby plastic bucket. Then I quickly changed into my security guard uniform. Pretty clever, eh? Wow, awesome! Hey, hold the phone. The guard in this photo. Is this you, Mr. Delight? That's right. Nice trick if I do say so myself. Nice and easy to figure out. Even pearls could see through that in a heartbeat. But as you might expect, Detective Atme found the disguise. He truly deserves the title of Ace Detective. Detective Atme found the Mask to Mask disguise? That's interesting. Yes, and I heard that he brought it home with him. So that's it. That's when Atme got his hands on this. Thanks to that, I got the chance to remake my costume. That must have been really time-consuming, huh? Yes, it took quite a while to complete. Anyway, a few days after that, I received the first of the blackmail letters. Blackmail letters? You got them starting when? Tell me more, now. Hey, calm down. Don't get so worked up. This blackmail letter, is this the first one you got? No, of course not. But this is the first one that ever called me out to a specific location. So, Did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes. Just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. That first letter, it said, "I know you did it." So someone found out about your true identity? Just like that? It's not easy being a master thief, you know. I've got proof that it was you, so give up, it went on to say. So in the end, I had to give up the treasure I went through all that trouble to steal. Is that right? Hey, hang on a second. What do you mean you had to give it up? Oh, don't worry. After I put the jewel in the safe deposit box the letter specified, someone sent me $10,000. No one said anything about me being worried, you know. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. Plans? What are these plans that you're talking about? They were instructions on how to steal a crown or painting or some other rare treasure. They showed security blind spots, escape routes, and even suggested training methods. So, you mean that the ones who planned the heist wasn't you? No, it wasn't. I only planned the very first one. After that, I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. It sounds like Mr. Delight is thankful to the person that was blackmailing him. So, Ron Delight was mask to mask after all? But someone else is behind the thefts. Someone who planned them all out in detail. All I had to do was deposit the treasures I stole into the safe deposit box. Then, I just waited for the cash to come in the mail. Could you try to not look so gleeful about it? So, you went after the sacred urn because of one of those plans too? Well, see, truth is I've never seen the urn. All I did was follow the instructions and steal what I was told to steal. Mr. Delight, is everything you've told me the truth? Yes, but please don't tell DrC, okay? Alright, so Ron's testimony that from DeMask's second heist on, he was stealing as directed by blackmail letters. Ron, before we go, there's one more thing I want to ask you. Yes? But please don't hurt me. Mr. Kane Bullard, do you swear that it wasn't you who killed him? Yes, of course. I could never. I'm not lying. All I did was hide his body in the safe. But then I was afraid they'd discover what I did, so I turned myself in yesterday. Why? Well, if the judge had ruled that I was guilty of robbery, then I'd have an alibi, right? Huh. I guess so. You're really clever, Mr. Delight. I guess I have no choice but to take Mr. Delight at his word. Mystic Maya! Hey, Pearly! I'm back! Hey, Pearls. So what have you been up to this whole time? The sacred urn, Mr. Nick. I took it back to Karain Village to have it examined. When you first played this, you thought Ron Delight was a woman before you saw his name. Yeah, he does have he's got a bit of an androgynous design to him, doesn't he? And? What did you find out? Well, there's no need to worry. They said it's the real urn. Phew. That's a relief. I was really worried. But there's one small problem. Problem? These cute little pink splotches? They said that it's paint, and that they were put on the urn recently. Why are we talking about the pink splotches again? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? We gotta find out how they got there. That's the big deal. Yes, Mr. Nick, we've gotta find out how they got there. Okay. We'll go find out how they got there. Please don't forget about me. Okay. Well, I think we've got everything we can get from here. Where do we go now, huh? Let's go back. Let's go to Damask's hideout first. Desiree is here. Anything to talk about? You present her with something? I'm not sure. Boy, we have so much evidence, don't we? Okay, well, this is obviously not where we're supposed to be, right? Pearl's the culprit? Well, she did break it originally, right? And then she reassembled it so it said I am instead of Amy. But someone has re-broken the urn and assembled it correctly. Which to me implies it was an adult. Right? Let's see here. Okay, we are in our law office. No, you mean she did the murder? Oh, wow, that would really be unexpected. I would never see that coming if Pearl was the murderer this whole time. Wow, that would really be something. Alright, so we're at the main exhibition hall. Oh, could it be time to confront Adrian Andrews? Maybe it's time to bust up her psyche locks, huh? Oh, Pearl! How nice to see you! Hello there! I haven't seen you around lately. What have you been up to? Well, actually, I was having this urn examined. Oh, I see. Maybe if we take another good look at this urn, we can figure out the mystery of what actually happened here. Nick, let's take a look around one more time. Okay, let's look around. So, here's something with pink paint on it. This box, there's something about it that's bothering me. That's the box that the sacred urn was in. It looks like there's some pink paint on it, too. And it's definitely the same color as the stuff on the urn. I think I know how the paint got on it now. Alright, let's investigate again, Nick. Anything else? All of this kind of looks the same, right? But there were marks on the floor here. What's the deal with this? It looks to me like it's been dry for several days. There's something suspicious about this paint mark. The bottom left part of it is shaped oddly and it's shockingly pink. Mr. Nick, could it be that this odd shape is... Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. Ah! That's the box the sacred urn was in. If you look here, there's a little bit of paint on the box as well. Wow, you're right. Look, it matches. What is it, Mr. Nick? This is all turning out exactly as I thought it would. I think it's all starting to become clear. We're that much closer to solving the mystery of what happened to the urn. Alright, so I think I think we might have everything we need to interrogate Miss Andrews here with the Magatama, huh? The stepladder broke the urn. Look, a ladder. That's a step ladder. So, what's the difference? You need to stop judging things based on narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Nick. Right, sorry. Why do I feel like we've had this exact same conversation somewhere before? Alright, so let's present her with the Magatama. I can see into your soul, lady. You can't lie to me. This is only a 2 psyche lock challenge, huh? Ms. Andrews, do you know anything about the sacred urn? Do I know anything? I'm in charge of the entire treasure exhibit. The urn that was submitted before the court today. It's obviously not the same urn as before. Well, that's true. Maybe it isn't the same. It could be a fake. A fake? You're the one who said it wasn't the same. So that's the most obvious explanation. Do you have any evidence the urn that was submitted at the trial was genuine? Yeah, right? This one. The poster. Well, Ms. Andrews? See, look, it was a fake after all. Huh? I mean, your evidence is fake too, as I expected. Oops. I guess this isn't gonna help me much. Okay, alright. So have I convinced you, or do you have any evidence that the urn that was submitted at the trial was genuine? What else do we have about the urn? Well, we have the actual urn. It's the genuine article, it says in the description. Let's go ahead and present the urn itself. Take that! Sorry to break it to you, but the urn is the genuine article. Pearls went back to Karain Village and had it examined. Is that right? That's nice, but I don't see how... What she discovered was that the urn had been broken. Again. Did you say again? Yes. It was broken once a year ago. And now it looks like the same thing has happened. And quite recently, too. Recently? Are you saying that this urn was broken recently? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Why do you think it was broken recently? How do you know? Okay, so now we must need to show this, because it used to say I am on it, right? Let's present this. Do you have any evidence it's the real deal? Yeah, because Pearl said so. Right? And Pearl wouldn't lie. This poster, it was made recently, right? Poster? Ah, the poster for the exhibit. At the time when this photo was taken, the urn said I am on it. But now, for some mysterious reason, it says Amy. When the urn was fixed, the letters were transposed. I am? What does that even mean? I don't know anything about that. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken. That was a mistake. Now, tell the truth. Wait. Or, even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it. Huh? Yes, that's it. It must have been one of the people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what happened. It looks like she's not gonna give up that last psyche lock so easily.
Do you have any proof that the urn was broken here at Lordly Taylor?
Okay. Alright, now we gotta prove that it was broken in the warehouse, right? So we have the urn box, and then we have the pink stains. Well, the pink stains are probably a little better as evidence, right? Because this is actually on the ground there that is completely dried. Let's present this. Okay. Well, Miss Andrews? What is this supposed to mean? There's pink paint all over this urn. Oh. And there's pink paint all over the floor and walls of the basement warehouse. In other words, this urn was broken here. You can't weasel out of this one, Miss Andrews. But... uh-oh. She's trying to make her escape.
But you can get pink paint anywhere.
Well, there's none in my office, that's for sure.
Well, there is in my room.
Liar.
Anyway, the paint on the urn and the paint on the floor, there's no proof that it's the same paint. Come on, this is getting ridiculous. The proof linking the paint on the urn to the paint on the floor is
the paint on the box, right? What about this? This box. The urn was stored in this, right?
Yes, that's right.
Well, there's pink paint on this box as well.
Ah!
I think you already know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yes,
more or less. The paint on the floor has an odd shape imprinted on it, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you put this box into the impression in the paint, you can see it fits perfectly. Which means this box was dropped right over here. And that is when the urn was broken. Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright. Yeah, you tried to lie to me, lady. But it didn't work out so well. You tried.
I'm so sorry. I was the one who broke the urn.
Boy, does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher.
I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did.
Thank you so much for the 5 bits, Virtue. I appreciate it. A little bit of celebration. Well, that's not so hard to understand. Is it, Pearly?
No, not at all. I know just how she feels.
It happened about 2 weeks ago. Just after the poster photo was taken, on the same day the urn arrived here. I thought I'd put it away down here for safekeeping. I was carrying it in the box. When I tripped on a paint can and lost my balance, this, man, I want to tag myself in this photo because I don't like it. This is like me bumbling through my life, dropping stuff, running into things. Oh man, I feel you, Ms. Andrews. The box I was carrying crashed to the ground. I heard a terrible noise and I thought my heart was gonna stop. Fearing the worst, I opened the lid of the box and that's when it happened. The broken pieces of the urn fell right out of the box and landed right in the paint. I was in shock and let out a huge scream. I can totally see how that would have happened. Yeah, as clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands.
Well, I knew it was the most important treasure in all of Karain Village, so I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shards were pretty big. And that's when the I am got changed to Amy. I didn't know how it was originally written. But any sane person fixing it would have assumed it said Amy. Any sane person? Really? Oh, Pearls. She said she wasn't very good at spelling. Anyway, I put the urn into the storeroom and no one had seen it since then. But there's something I don't get. When we first came here, I didn't see any paint stains. Well, that's because it was so ugly and embarrassing. I used the golden statue to cover it. The Amy face statue. Aha! The first time that we came down here, it was on that night that the sacred urn was stolen. But Mr. Nick, there were no paint marks on the walls or floor of the warehouse when we were here. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. And I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I see. Now it makes perfect sense. But there's still one thing I find strange. What is it, Pearl? The day after the urn was stolen, we came here again. At that time, the statue had been moved and the paint was clearly visible. She's right about that. Well, Ms. Andrews? Huh? What? I don't know anything about that. I placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again? Well, then who was it? Who would have done it, and why? On the day before the theft, the statue was definitely closer to the door. Then the next day, it was moved. But why? It looks like there's some connection between the sacred urn and the murder case. Why? Why do you think so, Nick? Because that night, the real thief, Ron Delight, was at KB Security. So then, why did another mask-to-mask show up here? A lot of different things are pointing to one undeniable fact. One undeniable fact? The murder trial is starting tomorrow, but it looks like that thief is going to be making another appearance. Ooh, to be continued. Oh man, it's really heating up now, isn't it? Let's go ahead and save our progress. Alright, time to head back into court. Oh wow, thank you so much.
Bucks love it.
Thank you so much for the 50 Bezos bucks, Rizo. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's right. You get to try out the text-to-speech. I think you have to use, is it 25 bits or 50 bits? And then it'll read your message out for you in text-to-speech. And I'm probably asking for trouble with that, aren't I? Oh, golly. Oh. Hey, Nick. What is it this time? Oof. I love that sound effect. Okay. What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Adme's trial today. Detective Adme? They say they're gonna try him as mask to mask. Already? That was fast. Boy, I'd love to see Mask to Mask's trial. I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me. Oh, Mr. Delight, good morning. No one likes me. No one would notice me, even if I killed someone. Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Hey, it's Win Rarrington. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. Now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murderer, Nick? It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. I'm afraid that's not an option. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the week. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. Ugh, he's got the judge in the palm of his hand, yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war. That is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness? Okay then. Let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. Ha! You've got guts, right? All right, then. Mr. Ron Delight, please take the stand. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No. That's not true. Hmm? For a moment there, I thought we set the record for the shortest trial ever. Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making. For once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Ha! Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security? Well, That's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. That evening, around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. It's bitter today, too, just like my destiny. You'd never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. That evening at around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. Tell us more. It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. They say things like, steal this or take that. Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do? I think we need to press harder. Usually when we get this option, we need to press harder. So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. You're fighting Sans from Undertale right now? Oh man, that's a great game. I love all the puns and the stupid jokes that Sans tells. And I like his other little buddy. What's his name? It's another font, right? Papyrus? Is that it? You got this, level 394. Money, eh? A perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh? Is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. Ha! A muddy mud skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. Well, then why did you do anything? Why did you follow the instructions? Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway? The blackmail letter said, if you don't want your identity revealed, correct? Hi, Kirito! Happy Monday! How you doing? I'm sure it was referring to the whole mask-to-mask thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me. He didn't? Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. Just as long as DrC believes in me. So that's why Ms. Delight didn't believe he was mask-to-mask. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. Oh yeah? You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. A security chief? You? And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject? I want to know why he was fired. Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, the world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then defendant, please answer the question. I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, DrC loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough. So I stole data from the company. Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was the security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out, and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I'd never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it a secret, and made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You'd do well to remember that. He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes. I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse, crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of the disaster. Oh no. He fired me for selling company secrets, but DrC doesn't know about that. Can you press him on this? Why would you do something like that? Well, for DrC's hobby. What else? Wasting money, huh? It's not a waste! So Miss Delight doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she? So it would seem. I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. I can't believe it. This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples. Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright. There wasn't much to his testimony, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh. Got a bad feeling about this. We better be careful. But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah. Alright, let's see again here. That evening, around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't gonna cause me trouble or anything. But you just said that you were hiding this from your wife. Okay, alright. Where is she? Here she is. Alright. Hates cowards and criminals more than anything, it says. Mm-hmm. Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared. Very scared. Of having a certain person find out your secret. Oh? A certain person? Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. But I... Listen to me, my Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Godot. Yes, we know, it was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Oh. No! Everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that. Or you'll be sorry. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly, there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. Oh. So what happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead. Wow. I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Mask to Mask struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Adme turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Ha! No one's gonna believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I was really attacked. We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Trite? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. If I hadn't been wearing what? That? Could you please clarify what you're referring to? Why, my mask-to-mask costume, of course. Wait just a moment. Mask-to-mask? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as mask-to-mask. And then, I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. What? Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait. That's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind? Ha! My 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my mask-to-mask costume. Why were you dressed up as mask-to-mask? Why? Because I'm mask-to-mask, of course. What are you talking about? Mask-to-mask trial is being held next door. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the mask-to-mask issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I'd expected. Took a lot longer? What is he talking about? What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body. See, this is why Edna Mode doesn't allow capes in superhero costumes. No capes. Getting caught and stuff. What was that? Back up a second. Yes? You were the one that hid the body in the safe? Well, yeah. Inconceivable! Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you mean that Mr. Delight hid the body because he's the murderer? Ha! So you're not as stupid as you look. His metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you? Well, yes. Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Looks like a storm front is moving in over the fair weather judge. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, huh? The buzzer went off once at 1:02 a.m. on October 12th in the CEO's office. Well, that's only 2 minutes. That's not enough time. Let's present this. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. Ron Delight truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been headed his way.
Objection!
Ha! Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them.
Objection!
But as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser, who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend, and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity, was not something Mr. Delight could have known.
Objection!
Oh no, did Sans defeat you? Oh no! The tough guy.
Well, you're just gonna have to try again, my friend. Ha! Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off. This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ugh. Fine. Let's hear your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious? So he fainted? That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what are you trying to say? Mr. Delight was knocked out, and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Oh, you just beat the final case in this game? This one here? Ooh, I might need your help later. It's by far the best case in the trilogy. Oh, I can't wait. I'm really excited to get there. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right. Whoever it was, they knocked out Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is...
Objection!
This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight is the one who killed Kane Bullard. Then who pressed the buzzer? It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button. Ah! So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. Is that your opinion? What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene. But how? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer? Of course you can.
The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. Oh, there's gotta be something. Ooh, here we go. There aren't any fingerprints on it, and we already know that this guy was not wearing gloves, right? This has got to be it. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue. Now I'm the one who's clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally, he would have left his fingerprints behind. Ron Delight obviously wiped them off. Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment. A guard could have come in at any moment. He touched that button. I know he did. The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Mask to Mask. And Mask to Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? Yeah, he wasn't wearing... Yeah, he couldn't have left fingerprints, so why would he be worried about wiping them down? Order, order, order! Ha, it would seem. I've been forced to eat crow. I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? Huh. It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond? Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. Oh, you've got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? Okay, they didn't mean to call the security guard, find out what it did. Alright, well, I don't think that they didn't mean to is a realistic option here. So we're left with either to call the security guard or to find out what it did. Now, I'm pretty sure it's obvious that it's an alarm of some kind. I don't think anyone is trying to find out what random buttons do when they're committing a murder. I think they were trying to call the security guard. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Did you mean to say that the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes. Although, as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. Huh. What a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the 3rd person, the real killer. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for the murder. Order! 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 Ha! It would seem I've been made to eat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Masked to Mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're gonna drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard. I knew it was you this whole time, 394. I knew it was you. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Kane Bullard? Well, we know it's gotta be this dude, right? Let's present Luke Atme. Detective Luke Atme. He's the only one who could have done it. Ace Detective? Luke Atme? You mean Masked to Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Masked to Mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder's the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime, subject to a capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Luke Atme confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as Masked to Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. To be found guilty? Masked to Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Masked to Mask was Luke Atme's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. A guilty verdict as an alibi? You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Atme's verdict. It's a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course,
that's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atney's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. So Rhonda Light is actually Master Mask? Yeah, it appears that Rhonda Light is the true Master Mask, and Luke Atney is a jealous hater that dressed himself up and then framed Master Mask, right? If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? Ha! But that's only good when your life's the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight. So, please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. Was that Mia? What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice, it sounds like Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. Ha! So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atney to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. Oh my gosh. Well, Sir Detective Atney? I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atney. You were the one who... Ooh, a different judge. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Luke Atney... Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please! Well, well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. Who's this ozer, eh? Okay. I think this guy is supposed to be Canadian. Very subtle, right? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. And I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atney. Accusation? You accuse Mask to Mask? That man is not Mask to Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? Ooh, he big mad. To be continued. You just microwaving some pizza rolls. Man, that sounds good. I could go for some pizza rolls myself. Okay. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then, she's still alive, inside your heart. Nicky boy. Oh, Miss Delight. Is it true the detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definitive proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atney want to kill Kane Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I
I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atme, please take the stand. Well, well. How do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Mask to Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I've been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as mask to mask. Indeed. It's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, mask to mask? Of course. Very well then, Luke Atme. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks. All right, Mr. Atme. The night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. Okay. Well, I bet his testimony is going to take us a while to get through. So let's go ahead and save our game here. Excellent. Because I do see that it's right about the time that I normally wrap things up here. So I wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who showed up to support my stream today. I really appreciate you. So, and a special thanks to Rizo and Virtue for the bits. I really appreciate your guys' support. You're so kind. So, I am going to sign off for now. I'm going to be back again on Wednesday night from 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're going to pick up with Luke Atme's testimony when that happens, okay? So I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening. And take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time.